You're welcome once again to Medcare Services. Good morning, good morning, and good day wherever you are, whichever part of the world you are. Greeting you from Medcare Services. Once again, this is CEO Aliseb Naismith Opiri, founder of Medcare Services. This is one of our videos, and this video we deal on the cost of living and a continuation of the last video I did, and I talked of the cost of living in the UAE. Relatively, I would say again, UAE is not very expensive as far as food items is concerned. The only areas that tend to eat up salaries and money and savings from people that live in the UAE is accommodation. Accommodation, you have some categories. I'm going to break them down, the kinds of accommodation you have in the UAE, and I will relate it to what we have in Nigeria and what we have in Africa. Now, in Nigeria, we have what we call self-contained. We have what we call rooms, apartment, sharing bathroom, maybe cooking in front of your house. There are accommodations like that for those on low income earning. We have the flats ranging from 1 bedroom flat, 2 bedroom, 3, 4, as the case may be. We also have a breakdown of accommodation system in the UAE, ranging from bed space. Bed space is like a bunk up and down. Somebody is up, somebody is down. Maybe in a room you have like 3 up and down, meaning 6 persons will be in that room. These are the least category of accommodation that you can find in the UAE, and the cost is within, if you convert 400, 500 to Nigerian naira, you'll be paying something like 60, 70,000 per month for either up or down, depending on the level you want to stay. If you stay up, it's cheaper. You stay on the down bed, is a little expensive than the up bed. You can find this within the range of 50 to 70,000 to stay in a bed space. Sorry, I am at work, so I have to be with my N95. Sorry for it's inconveniencing me. That's why I'm dragging it down all the time. Okay, and again, the other category is partitioning. Partition is just like a room shared into 2 or 3. It depends on the size of the room, and everybody that stays in one partition is having a level of privacy compared to the bed space. So it is either done with a curtain partition. There is curtain partition, and there is also wood partitioning. Now what is invoked is wood partitioning for complete privacy. So you have your corner, your bed, and your few belongings inside that corner. And partition will range from 800, 900, 1000, depending on how many persons are in the room and the size of the partition. Some partitions you will have some good bed and fridge inside, or fully furnished or unfurnished. So the ones that are furnished are a bit expensive. All right, so 800, 900, 700 too. You can find 700 partition depending on the area. You know, in life, the more beautiful the area is, the more luxurious the area is, the more expensive it will be to live in such areas. So as someone that is coming from Nigeria or from Africa, you're coming, you've not gotten any job yet, we advise you go for bed space. Take a bed space, at least if you want to be comfortable, the down space. It goes a long way to at least not put you in so much financial spendings initially. So that's it, my dear. So 700, 800 dirhams, 900 dirhams a month for partitioning for those who can afford it. But if you can't, you go for bed space, 400, 500 and 600, depending if you want to stay up or you want to stay on the down side of the bed. Then for rooms can cost between 1,500 to 2,000 depending on the size of the room too. But I can't advise anybody just coming in from Nigeria to go and take a room. If you, with the exchange rate, you multiply 1,500 by 155, you will know how can you spend that. That is money that you can use in paying a flat in Nigeria for at least a year, depending on the area too in Nigeria. So why spend that kind of money for just a room for 1 month? So cost of accommodation is pretty expensive if you convert the amount you're spending. And as a newcomer, someone that is not earning in the dirhams, we don't advise to go for luxury living and accommodations at the beginning. So you have to sacrifice on arrival to stay on a bed space or partition, so that you don't run into unnecessary worries and tensions because of accommodation. So you plan that in your first 3 months, it's either you stay in a partition accommodation until you get a job. And once you get a job, I will not even advise that immediately you get a job you rush into paying some big partitions and big, no. At least you earn your salary first month, 2 months, then you can now save and see how you can move out from the accommodation. Most employers do give accommodation too. I must tell that they give maybe sharing accommodation. If it is ladies, maybe 2 to a room, at most 3 to a room. For guys, also in that order, or maybe 4, depending on some partitions, bed up and down. Some accommodation companies provide is up and down. Some are just 1 or 2 beds in a room. So these are the areas that are really expensive. They are expensive in the sense that if you convert what you're spending here for bed space, for partition, for a room, and a flat, I can't mention a flat in this video because even me that has been working here for some time, I can't think of renting a flat for myself. It's crazy buying into those kind of ideas. So it's either I go for a studio apartment or a room in somebody's flat and manage myself and save money for my tomorrow and do things back home. So once again, I said the cost of living. I will do another video on education. We also have a studio apartment. Studio apartment will be ranging from 2,000 and something dirham, depending on the area. You can also have a studio apartment for 1,500 dirhams. Okay, but it depends on the area. Those 1,500 dirham studio are always not very luxurious, but it's affordable and some level of privacy when you do that. Sorry, I'm looking at because I'm on duty, so if my patient is coming, I just have to end the video. That is what it takes to do a video when you're on duty. But I have to do this and upload it so that those who can see this will see this, will listen. So just to reiterate, we have bed space accommodation, we have partition accommodation, we have room accommodation, we have studio accommodation, and we have the apartment flats, 1 room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms. I am not going to say anything on those ones because I will not advise you to go for those ones. 1 bedroom flat, 2 bedroom flat, all of that. If you come in and you see life and you feel you can spend your money on those things, the situation on ground will tell you better. But for those who are just coming, this video is for those who are coming, so that on your own, UAE is a country that you have to process your licensing activity, finance the cost, and Once you get a job, that is when you can see your employer play some roles in maybe your accommodation. Transport to work most times is always from the company, depends on the company you're employed with. So that is just it. So for beginners, those who are just coming, you budget and think of partition accommodation that is affordable to you and bed space. Okay, this video is solely for those who are what is how where will I stay and what is the cost of getting accommodation in the UAE. The good thing about, also let me not leave out this, the good thing is, well, your accommodation, you will have Wi-Fi is included in the pay you'll be paying per month. You have water and constant electricity. The light doesn't blink here, and the electricity doesn't blink here. It's always there. So life is made easy by the provision of all these basic amenities. The transport system, I did another video before I mentioned the transport system is absolute. It's okay, very, very okay. You can go to anywhere you want to go, any time of the day. The taxis are there, uh, the buses are there, the big buses, the intercity, intra-city buses, always there, so that you can travel anytime of the day. So once again, thank you. This is from MedScare Services. See you again in our next video. If you are listening to this video through our YouTube channel, please do us well to subscribe. When you subscribe to and like our videos, you'll be prompted whenever we make a new video and we upload. So stay tuned with us. Embrace yourself with what is common, the common life in the UAE. Thank you so much. God bless you.